Hello and welcome back to everybody on Respect and to another edition of Smackdown Out of 10. And the march towards the Royal Rumble continue with a contract signing for the Fatal 4-Way match ahead of the Universal title match. But Logan Paul returned guest starring on the KO show with his Rumble challenger, and there was plenty else that went down as we build up to the first PLE of the year. But we started things off with the contract signing. Roman Reigns was dismayed, informing Jimmy and Solo that he was back to fix what they couldn't do, and Solo said he'll fix everything. Inside the arena though, LA Knight, AJ Styles and Orton all entered the arena for the contract signing, and the Tribal Chief wasn't there, only for Paul Heyman to inform Aldis that Reigns will not be signing a contract. Aldis threatened to strip Reigns of the title, and Styles and Knight came to play, and Orton threatened Heyman with an arcade to close out the show. It was a hot segment that fired the crowd up and set the stage for a potential match between Styles and Knight, as soon as tonight, presumably, with a Paul Alpart brawl. Heyman, as always, was fantastic with his facial expressions, while Knight's popularity refuses to wane. Before it's time for our first match, LWO versus Santos, Angel and Humberto. Carlito's obsession with revenge on Escobar cost him. Cruz del Toro and Whacking Wild in the opening match, and yeah, the babyfaces managed to come back late, fighting back against Escobar and Co. on the strength of Carlito's fiery barrage, and Escobar took advantage of the second generation Stars onslaught and scored the win for his team, leaving Carlito fuming. The cheat wins builds heat for the heels, and Carlito has unfinished business with Escobar, and the match was a really good tag match to boot as well. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Really good stuff. I think the feud's going to continue, but they're stuck in a bit of a weird pace because obviously Ray's not about. But yeah, hopefully we'll be back soon. I think in the meantime they're building to it decently. So I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Before it's time for Pete Dunne. Yes, you heard that right. Pete Dunne is back. Thank God, finally. And Tyler Bate taking on Pretty Deadly. Yeah, everyone was delighted that Dunne is back. And the Bruiserweight obliterated Keith Wilson and Elton Prince of Pretty Deadly, punishing them with joint manipulation early and tossing them around the squared circle en route to the bitter end of victory. It was about as strong return as done as you could have possibly hoped for, really, establishing him as a dominant badass capable of picking opponents away and putting away. There was no silliness, just an unforgiving beating by one of the best wrestlers in the world. A return to form, even if it was on, and a reunion with Tyler Bate, that I think is working really well. Pretty Deadly in their heel way sold it really well as well. So yeah, that was great. Pete Dunne is back and he's teaming with Tyler Bate. What a year 2024 is. But then we got Kevin Owens and Logan Paul's KO show segment, and WWE dug into the archives to provide heat for the upcoming US Championship match between these two, with the latter reminding his rival of the indignity that he endured at his hands at WrestleMania 37. From there, a verbal back and forth ensued before Logan Paul left KO, arriving in pain after removing a protective brace on his arm and further damaging his injured limb. Owens struck out at Paul, giving him his props for learning that before reminding him he was protected and was not like any other WWE star. Paul, like Jake Nicholson's Joker in Batman, blamed Owens for making him the competitor he is today, and we know the motivation for men, which is only going to enhance it. So yeah, a decent little segment here. Before it's time for the women's tag title match, Chance and Carter against the Unholy Union. And Chance and Carter unsurprisingly retaining as W continue to highlight a division. Triple H and your creative team kind of do seem intent on building up. The match was solid enough, but the crowd struggled to invest, partly in thanks to the fact that Fire and Dawn were not seen on TV since they popped up out of nowhere from the December 22nd episode. Instead, the focus here was on Bayley and Damage Control at ringside, as Oscar and Curry staying prepared to challenge for the tag titles, which we're going to get next week. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see new champions there at all. I think that was kind of all about setting that up. The match was alright, but I think, yeah, a high profile match next week, which could set a really interesting one, which, yeah, is the one to look forward to. So I'm going to 6 out of 10. But moving on then to AJ Styles against LA Knight, and yeah, they picked up where they left off from earlier in the night. Delivering an intense title match that highlighted the dislike between them, born out of the former's frustrations with his opponents for walking over him to get to Reigns. Unfortunately, it came to an abrupt end with an distraction from Russo that allowed Scola to wipe out both Knight and Styles. This match was called off and the heels demanded Orton come to the ring for the main event. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. I don't know, shouldn't maybe really have promised us this when it's quite obvious we're going to get this. Obviously they're going to save it further down the line. But yeah, I kind of didn't really like the way they went about it. So yeah, unfortunately I'm going to give it 5 out of 10. But moving on into the actual main event, Randy Orton versus Solo Sikoa, and Chaos Reigns supreme in this, with planned interference from Jimmy Uso backfiring and Styles and Knight attacked him. The momentary distraction threatened to re-rail Orton, but he instead dropped the enforcer with an RKO for the win. The Viper dealt some RKOs to his Rumble opponents, but fell prey to a Superman punch from Reigns, who proceeded to finally sign a contract for the January 27 title defence. His hubris got the best of him, though, as Orton dropped him while charging for a spear with an RKO. The Apex Predator stood tall to close the show. Anja, this gets a 7 out of 10 from me. I thought a really good match to end. Orton basically squashing Sikoa, which was surprising, but yeah, kind of gets him over, leads to people thinking there won't be a title change, but there won't be, and yeah, just the general chaos of it all I really enjoyed, so I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. And yeah, overall SmackDown this week gets a 6 out of 10 from me. I thought, yeah, SmackDown was a bit of a mixed bag this week. Lots of interesting things going on, and yeah, on the whole, a pretty decent episode. With lots of little builds towards the Royal Rumble, and I think show by show I'm getting increasingly
That's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.